Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Today we're tackling something I think we can all relate to. Computer brands.
Oh, yeah, those brands we love, those brands we love to hate. There's always a lot of opinions flying around.
For sure. Like Apple's the best, end of story, or Dell's the only way to go. But is there really a best? I mean, what does that even mean?
That's exactly what we're going to unpack today. We're using the top tens list as our guide, which is all based on user opinions, not some tech experts' criteria.
So we're diving into the minds of everyday users, seeing what they think makes a computer brand stand out. Cool. So what are we looking at? What brands made the list?
Well, it's a pretty long list, actually, but the top five are some familiar names. Apple, Dell, HP, Asus, and Lenovo. No huge surprises there, maybe.
Not really. Those are definitely the big names you hear all the time. But I'm more interested in the WHY. Why do people love these brands? Or, for that matter, why do some people hate them?
Right. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Starting with Apple, lots of users are all about that Mac operating system.
Ah, yes, the Mac OS. But it's more than just, it's easy, right?
Yeah.
What specifically are people saying?
Yeah, it goes deeper. People love the intuitive design and how smoothly everything works together, especially if you have other Apple
That
devices.
makes sense. It's like a whole ecosystem.
Exactly. And you can't forget those powerful creative tools that you only get on Macs, like Final Cut Pro or Logic Pro.
True, that's a big draw for creative folks. But let's be honest. Apple also has that reputation for being, well, expensive.
Oh, absolutely. The big question is, are you just paying for the logo, or is there real quality and innovation behind that price tag?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer.
Nope. It's a matter of perspective, I guess. Some users even pointed out the great customer service at Apple stores, saying the staff is super knowledgeable and helpful.
That's a good point. Having that support can definitely soften the blow when you're spending a lot of money.
For sure. Okay, moving on to Dell. What stands out in the user comments is the emphasis on durability and practicality.
Yeah, Dell is known for being a workhorse, right?
Definitely. One user even said that Dells are fairly easy to repair yourself, which is a big plus if you're not a tech whiz.
That's super handy, especially if you don't want to pay for expensive repairs.
Exactly. And for businesses, that easy maintenance is a godsend. IT departments love that they can troubleshoot and fix Dell machines without needing to call in a specialist for every little thing.
So it's all about efficiency. I like it. What else?
Oh, Dell also has that pre-activation feature. So when you're setting up a bunch of computers, you don't have to mess around with activation codes.
Streamlined and straightforward. Perfect for businesses and large organizations. Okay, next up we have HP. What are people saying about them?
Well, one user had a great story about their old HP laptop. It's still kicking after years of wear and tear, like serious wear and tear. They're amazed by how long it's lasted.
That's a good sign. It shows they can build stuff that lasts. Any other interesting comments?
One user described their HP as smooth and full of chrome. Not sure what that means exactly, but it sounds kind of cool, right?
It does. Though not everyone was singing HP's praises. There were definitely some mixed opinions, with some folks mentioning reliability problems or not so great customer service.
That's true. HP seems to be a bit more hit or miss, maybe depending on the specific model you get, or even just luck of the draw.
All right, let's move on to something a bit more powerful. How about Asus?
Asus. They're a favorite among gamers, that's for sure. Especially their Republic of Gamers line.
Yeah, I've heard good things about those. What makes them so special for gamers?
Well, they often get compared to Alienware, which is owned by Dell, but a lot of gamers feel like Asus gives you better performance for your money.
Interesting. Performance is key for gaming, so that makes sense.
One user even reminisced about how back in the day, Asus was offering gaming laptops with a whopping 24 gigabytes of RAM. This was when 4 gigs was considered the standard.
Wow, that's a huge difference. I'm not a gamer myself, but I can imagine that extra RAM made a world of difference.
Oh, absolutely. It's like having a supercomputer compared to the average machine at the time. Gamers were drooling over those Asus machines.
I bet. Okay, last but not least in our top 5, we have Lenovo. What's the deal with them?
They seem to have built a reputation for having really high-quality hardware. Some users even put them right up there with Apple when it comes to quality.
That's high praise, especially since they're not always as expensive as Apple.
Yeah, and what's interesting about Lenovo is that they combine that quality with sleek design, especially their ThinkPad line.
Ah, yes, the ThinkPads. Classic.
Users rave about those ThinkPad keyboards, saying they're super responsive and have a great feel.
I can see why. ThinkPads have that iconic look and feel.
Absolutely. One user even said that Lenovo is on par with Apple for impeccable design, quality, and durability.
So basically, they're the best of both worlds. Stylish A&D built to last. Nice. Okay, we've covered the big hitters, but the list is long, and it's about to get really interesting as we dive into some of those lesser-known brands and their unique stories.
Oh, I know. This is where things get spicy. Ready to venture off the beaten path.
You bet. Let's see what these underdog brands are all about. Reading through all those user reviews, it really struck me that there's so much more to choosing a computer than just picking a brand name you recognize.
Yeah, it's not as simple as it seems. There are so many factors that people consider.
It's almost like, well, I don't know, picking a car.
Yeah, right? You
Yeah.
wouldn't buy a sports car if you needed to haul a bunch of stuff around.
Exactly. You need the right tool for the job.
And in this case, the job is your digital life.
So true. And price, obviously, that's a big one.
Oh, huge. We saw how much that played into people's opinions about brands like Apple and Alienware.
Yeah, for sure. It's not just about the initial price tag, though, right?
No, it's about value for your money. Are you getting cutting-edge features, top-notch build quality, and support that's actually helpful?
Speaking of support, some of those comments about good and bad experiences with customer service really jumped out at me.
Oh, for sure. That can make or break a brand for a lot of people.
Totally. Imagine having a computer problem right before a big deadline.
Oh, man, that's the worst.
A good support team can be a lifesaver.
Absolutely. On the flip side, dealing with a frustrating support experience can leave you feeling like you made the wrong choice.
You feel totally stuck.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like having a safety net, knowing there's someone to help if things go wrong.
right. Peace of mind.
Okay, so we've got price and support, but what about the actual computer itself? Performance has to be a major factor, right? Especially for gamers.
Absolutely. Gamers need raw power, the fastest processors, tons of RAM, top-of-the-line graphics cards to handle those demanding games.
But for someone who mostly uses their computer for, like, browsing the web, checking email, maybe some light photo editing.
Yeah, those super spec machines would be overkill.
So how do you know what level of performance you actually need?
Well, it really comes down to understanding what you're going to be doing with the computer.
Right. Think about what software you use regularly.
Mhm.
Do you edit videos, play graphics-intensive games, work with large data sets?
Yeah, those tasks require more processing power and RAM.
If you're just browsing the web and checking email,
You can probably get away with a less powerful and less expensive machine.
it's all about finding that sweet spot between power and practicality.
Exactly.
Speaking of practicality, portability is huge for me. I need a laptop that's light enough to carry around all day without feeling like I'm lugging a brick.
Oh, I hear you. Portability is a big deal for a lot of people.
But then again, if you mostly work from a desk,
A powerful desktop might be the better option.
true. They give you more bang for your buck in terms of performance.
And they're usually easier to upgrade.
Right. It's all about trade-offs.
Yeah,
You sacrifice some portability for more power or vice versa.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole design aspect.
Oh, yeah. Some users were really into brands that had that sleek, modern look.
It's like a fashion statement almost.
Totally. A well-designed computer can be a beautiful object in its own right.
It can, but you don't want to sacrifice functionality for style.
Exactly. What's the point of a stunning laptop if the battery life is terrible or the keyboard is a pain to type on?
Right? Form and function need to work together.
Which brings us to another important factor, durability and reliability,
No one wants a computer that's going to fall apart after a year.
or constantly crash on you.
Exactly. Especially if you rely on your computer for work or school.
You need something that's built to last,
That's where brands like Dell and Lenovo come in.
with their reputation for being really robust,
They're like the workhorses of the computer world.
reliable, dependable, not afraid to get a little banged up.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. Price performance, portability, design durability, even customer support.
It's a lot to think about.
It is. How do you even begin to figure out what's right for you?
Well, I think the first step is to really think about what matters most to you.
Is it having the latest and greatest technology, sticking to a budget, or finding a brand that aligns with your values?
It's almost like creating a personal checklist, must-haves, nice-to-haves, and deal breakers.
I like that. Once you have that checked,
You can start narrowing down your options.
read reviews from reputable sources. Compare specs side by side.
Talk to friends or colleagues who have experience with different brands.
It's about tapping into your personal network and getting those real-world insights.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to challenge your own assumptions, too.
Oh, that's a good point. Just because you've always used Windows doesn't mean a Mac wouldn't be a better fit for you now,
Right. Or maybe you've always gravitated towards the big brands.
but a lesser-known company might offer exactly what you're looking for at a better price.
It's all about keeping an open mind and not being afraid to try something new.
Exactly. The world of technology is constantly evolving.
There's always something new to discover.
Speaking of new discoveries, those underdog brands we touched on earlier really piqued my interest.
Me too. They might not be household names, but they're definitely shaking things up.
Sometimes those lesser-known brands offer incredible value and innovation.
They're often pushing the boundaries in terms of features, performance, or even sustainability.
Like Chewy, for example. They're offering affordable laptops with specs that rival some of the bigger brands.
It's like they're disrupting the market with their value proposition.
And it's great to see companies like that making technology more accessible to people who might not have a huge budget.
Absolutely. Then there's Toshiba. They've been around forever.
But they might not be the first brand that comes to mind when you think of cutting-edge computers.
But based on the user feedback, their laptops are known for their reliability and long battery life.
It's like they're the quiet achievers of the computer world.
They're not flashy or trendy, but they get the job done.
And let's not forget about Gateway.
They might not have the same brand recognition as some of the giants.
But they're known for offering solid, no-frills computers at a reasonable price.
Sometimes simplicity is key.
Not everyone needs a computer that's packed with bells and whistles.
Sometimes you just need a reliable machine that gets the job done without breaking the bank.
And even though MSI got some mixed reviews,
They're still a major player in the gaming world.
they push the boundaries with their high-performance machines.
And they have a loyal following among hardcore gamers.
So if you're looking for something different, something off the beaten path,
These underdog brands offer a compelling alternative to the big names.
they do. It's always worth exploring what's out there. You might just discover your new favorite brand in the process.
You never know.
Okay, we've talked about the big names, the underdogs, and all the factors that go into choosing the right computer.
But what about those brands that have really carved out their own niche?
The specialists, the innovators, the ones that are doing things a little differently.
Ah, yes. The niche players.
The ones who are laser focused on a specific market or a particular type of technology.
They might not be for everyone, but for their target audience, they're often the best choice.
Like Microsoft, for example.
Yeah.
They've really transformed themselves from a software-centric company to a hardware powerhouse with their Surface line.
Their Surface devices are a great example of how a company can innovate and push the boundaries of what a computer can be.
From the detachable keyboard to the Surface Dial, they're constantly introducing new features and form factors.
And LG, with their focus on high-quality monitors and external hard drives.
They've become a go-to brand for people who want visual excellence and reliable storage.
They've really mastered those areas. Their monitors are known for their stunning image quality and color accuracy.
And their external hard drives are renowned for their reliability and durability.
Then there's Corsair, a brand that's synonymous with high-performance PC components.
Especially their cooling fans.
Oh yeah, their cooling fans are legendary among gamers and PC enthusiasts,
They're known for their quiet operation, efficient cooling, and long lifespan.
keeping those high-powered systems running smoothly and reliably,
It's like they're the unsung heroes of the computer world.
making sure everything stays cool under pressure.
And speaking of heroes, we can't forget about Razer, the ultimate gaming brand.
Their sleek designs, high-performance specs, and immersive RGB lighting have made them a favorite among gamers worldwide.
They've really captured that gaming aesthetic and elevated it to an art form.
Their laptops and peripherals are designed to enhance the gaming experience.
And they have a dedicated following among serious gamers.
So for those who have specific needs or preferences, these niche players offer a tailored solution.
Whether you're a creative professional, a hardcore gamer, or simply someone who appreciates quality and innovation,
There's a brand out there that's perfect for you.
it's just a matter of finding the right match.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole exploration so exciting.
The computer industry is a dynamic and constantly evolving landscape.
New technologies emerge, new brands rise to prominence, and user preferences shift over time.
It's a constant dance of innovation and adaptation.
And for consumers, it means that there's always something new to discover, something new to explore.
It's an exciting time to be a tech enthusiast.
It is. But with so many choices, it can also be overwhelming.
That's why it's so important to approach the decision-making process with a clear head.
And a well-defined set of criteria.
Do your research, consider your needs, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
There are plenty of resources available to guide you.
including expert reviews, user forums, and even tech-savvy friends or family members.
And remember, the best computer brand is ultimately the one that best meets your individual needs and preferences.
It's about finding the perfect tool to help you achieve your goals and unleash your creativity.
So embrace the journey of exploration.
Discover the brands that resonate with you and find the computer that empowers you to do what you love.
The world of technology is vast and full of possibilities. Go out there and make it your own.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, there's one more group of brands we need to touch on.
Oh.
Those nostalgic names that might have faded from the spotlight.
Ah, you mean the veterans.
The pioneers.
The brands that paved the way for the technology we have today.
Like IBM, for example. They were once synonymous with computing.
And even though they're not as dominant as they once were, their legacy of innovation and quality endures.
And Compaq, with their long-lasting machines, earned a reputation for durability that's still remembered fondly by some users.
It's fascinating how certain brands become ingrained in our collective memory.
Even if they're not as prominent as they once were.
It's a testament to the impact they had on the industry and on our lives.
And Packard Bell, even though they're not as widely recognized today, still has its loyal fans.
Who appreciate their affordability and performance.
It's a reminder that even in a fast-paced industry like technology, nostalgia can play a powerful role.
It really can.
So as we conclude our deep dive into the world of computer brands,
Let's take a moment to appreciate the pioneers, the innovators, and the underdogs who have shaped the technology we use every day.
their contributions have paved the way for the incredible advancements we see today.
And their stories continue to inspire us as we navigate the ever-evolving world of computing.
It's been an amazing journey,
It really has.
but the conversation doesn't end here. We want to hear from you.
Oh, yeah.
What factors are most important to you when choosing a computer brand?
What experiences have shaped your perceptions?
Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below
We're always eager to learn from our listeners.
and expand our understanding of this fascinating world.
And who knows, maybe your insights will inspire our next deep dive.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we'll wrap up this episode with some final thoughts and takeaways.
And leave you with some food for thought to ponder.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with technology.
Absolutely. The possibilities are endless.
Wow, what a journey through the world of computers that was. So many brands, so many opinions, so many factors to consider.
It really is a jungle out there.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the key takeaways? What should our listeners keep in mind as they navigate this tech maze?
Well, I think the biggest thing to remember is that best is totally subjective. It's like, what's the best pizza topping? Everyone's got their own taste.
So true. So it's about figuring out what best means for you.
Exactly. And that starts with thinking about how you actually use your computer. Are you a hardcore gamer who needs all the bells and whistles? Or do you mostly just browse the web and check emails?
Right. Are you a creative pro who needs specialized software? Or a student who needs something portable and durable?
Once you have a clear picture of your needs, you can start narrowing down your options.
Focus on the brands that align with what you need.
And don't be afraid to do your research. Read reviews, compare specs, talk to friends who are tech savvy, see what they like and don't like.
Oh, for sure. Those real-world insights are super valuable. Sometimes a friend's experience can tell you more than any review website.
Absolutely. But keep in mind, no brand is perfect. Even the top dogs have their quirks.
So don't get hung up on finding a brand that everyone loves. Just find one that has a good track record in the areas that matter most to you.
Exactly. And don't rule out those underdog brands either. They can offer some amazing value and innovation.
Yeah, sometimes those lesser-known companies are the ones pushing the boundaries and trying new things. It's all about keeping an open mind.
And remember, technology is always evolving. What's considered the best today might be old news tomorrow.
So true. You got to stay curious, stay informed, and don't be afraid to try new things as they come out.
The computer industry is full of surprises, and that's what keeps it so exciting.
It really is an adventure. So embrace that journey. Explore the brands, figure out your needs, and find the computer that helps you do what you love, whatever that may be.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. We hope this deep dive has given you a fresh perspective on the world of computer brands.
And most importantly, we hope it's helped you feel more confident about making that choice when it's time to find your perfect machine.
But as always, the conversation doesn't end here. We want to hear from you. What's most important to you when choosing a computer? What experiences have shaped your opinions? Tell us in the comments.
We're always eager to learn from our amazing listeners.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible with technology.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of computer brands. See you next time.